Well, hello everyone. This is Matt, your chaotic and writer, and we are beginning the next episode of Tales of SEGLESIA. Session 10, the Lion Share. And I just want to say, everyone, we did it. We reached episode 10. This is our 10th anniversary of Tales of SEGLESIA. And as you know, from Shadows of SEGLESIA, I made a big deal out of reaching episode 10. In this particular case, it is just a continuation of a journey, and it is time for us to embrace that journey and to go forward and practice some courage, practice some true heroism. I want to thank everybody for showing up and watching tonight's episode. Tonight we have our normal 5 players, but before we proceed to speak with these players, I would like to put the word out that there are potential openings that are there are potential openings in Tales of SEGLESIA in terms of the roster. So if any of you find people out there in chat, out there in the world of D&D, if any of you find people want to join a campaign that is streamed on Twitch, that is part of a fantastic community, and a campaign like many of the campaigns before it and during it and after it, you will be able to leave your personal mark upon, then feel free to reach out to me and consider joining Project Aurora. Project Aurora is a collective of Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop enthusiasts. Many of them are players, many of them are dungeon masters, but all of them get to leave their mark in one way or another. It is a collaborative tabletop universe. And what better way to celebrate a 10th anniversary than to compel you to sign up to Project Aurora? All you need to do is join the Discord, say hi, and peek into whatever the latest events are in the D&D verse that is the Auroraverse. Please consider joining. But now we're going to convert over to our fantastic players. Like so. Hello, hello. As I make sure that, OBS is always having some interesting things happen. So I'm going to say hello, players, one more time.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Sweet. That worked. Fantastic. And so for tonight, we have the following individuals. We have Rashid, played by Sensei Suplex.
Hi.
We have Victor, played by Dr. Swiggums.
Yay.
We have King, played by the one, the only, Gabe Grimoire.
Hello.
We have Zug, played
It's me.
by only Ambrose. And finally, we have, I think that's all. I feel like we're missing somebody.
The Dungeon Master.
Oh, that is me. That is me. But I do believe if I read, okay. So it is gonna be the 4 of you tonight. So for the sake of making proper adjustments to my overlay, I'm going to bloop. Nope, not that one. There we go. I'm gonna make that frame vanish, and it's a little on the stream. It's gonna be a little crooked, but that's fine. We're just gonna keep everybody where they're at. However, here's my question before we begin tonight's session. First, how's everybody doing tonight? Second, we are at the halfway point between, I guess, how those in the States celebrate Thanksgiving and the Christmas season, or the holiday season, rather. I should be inclusive. Has anybody any special particular plans for this holiday season? I'm gonna pick on Ambrose first.
We don't really have Thanksgiving in Brazil, but we are really heavy on Christmas, and yeah, so I'm waiting on that. After that, it's New Year's Eve, and we just go out in the street and fuck shit up. Shout out Brazil.
As you do. Oh, look at Rashid's box is moving. Okay, that looks better. Now
I was gonna say.
Wow, what's that?
Now everybody is in a straight line. Fantastic. Almost straight. I mean, if you have OCD, you might peer in very closely and notice that it is slightly crooked. So I do apologize to everybody who notices that. So Gabe, what are your plans for this holiday season?
I mean, nothing too crazy. I'm just gonna spend Christmas with my family. That's pretty much it. And then I don't know what's going on New Year's Eve.
Gotcha. Very similar to what I plan on doing. Usually every year now, my family, that is to say, siblings, parental unit. Usually we go on a trip of some sort for Christmas. We just got bored of the Christmas tradition, so we do some sort of thing every Christmas. Not this year though, because but that is a-okay. We will be able to celebrate the traditional way that we have in prior years, and it'll be good. Sensei Suplex, holiday season plans.
To be fair, I don't really think I got much of any of them. I mean, if anything, I'm gonna be hanging out with loved ones, friends, and all that good stuff, and just having a good time during the holidays. That's about it.
Gotcha. And I imagine that a chunk of that is celebrating the holiday season with the Project Aurora groups. Many people, I'm sorry, spending time with Project Aurora is what I mean. Okay, sweet. So Dr. Squigums, holiday season plans, any?
Probably to hang out with the family again. It's same old, nothing too big.
Gotcha. So, across the board, hanging out with family, taking a little R&R if it comes available, but just putting on a little bit of that holiday cheer. Sounds like that is the plan across the board. So we are ready to begin tonight's session. Before we do, does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments, compliments, croissants?
Can I have a croissant during the session?
You may, however, I am not providing.
Can we fight a croissant,
Yeah.
please?
Can you fight a croissant?
Yes.
Improv boss counter right here, right now. Do
Hold
it.
Next
Hold
boss
on.
confirmed.
Hold on. Okay.
It's typing, calculating.
That is in my notes. Thank you for sharing.
Let's go.
Also, okay, so one final thing before we begin. You will notice, you ought to notice that in the journal section in Foundry, I have added maybe a couple of new things. Now, the thing is that the journal section in Foundry is not super well sorted, but you will notice two things in particular. You should be able to notice a document that says unfinished business actions and leads. And then you should also see a journal that has your name on it. You should be able to have access to both of those things. And both of those things can be edited and updated as you see fit. The unfinished business actions and leads is sort of that is an account of what I believe are the things that either have yet to do or notable things that you have accomplished. I will be updating that mainly, but you are free to edit it as you see fit or add notes to it. However, your personal journal, I would like to compel you to take spare moments to record in your journal whatever you feel is going to be noteworthy for you to remember. I understand that, of course, we have the Discord and the particular Discord group for this campaign. However, anything that you record in that journal, perhaps your character's reaction to a certain situation, or certain things that you think are key things to remember from an encounter, whether it be a person, a place, a thing, anything that you deem necessary, I compel you to record it in your journal. I will be looking at those journals, and it provides me an extra source for potential things to consider, contents. So if you fill those out, it is more likely that I will be able to better curate content to some of the stuff I see in those journals. However, these journals, while they are private to you, they're not private, so don't put in weird things into the journal. I mean, if you put in weird things, I'll read it and I'll probably laugh. But you understand what I'm saying. This is not like a journal that you keep in a locked box beside your bed where you record your nightly confessions and stuff. That's not the kind of journal I'm talking about. This is a Dungeons and Dragons adventure journal.
What did you expect us to put in there, Matt?
I have no clue. I know I have characters who have shenanigans on the mind, so I need to be able to frame this device in a way that prevents it being misused.
Very fair.
So we are ready to begin. So let me activate the music, and we can properly set the tone. Last session of Tales of SEGLESIA. While a few things happened, we were, for the most part, left off in the midst of a session of downtime. In previous sessions, our characters had found themselves bound together on a journey that kept throwing things at them left and right. And for an entire day, they were led along several trails throughout the neighborhood of Autumn Rock. After a combat in the Vagabond Arena and an encounter within the basement of an abandoned building, a cataclysm occurs, which ends up endangering lives in the Vagabond Arena. And our heroes come to save the day and save many lives from that disaster. Also, I realized something. I have to change my device here. Should all be able to actually hear it normally. Okay, cool. However, as of recent, you have been brought to a building of which Roxy Righteous is in the middle of renovating. With some decision making as to how to use the back room. Roxy insists that it be used for training, and some other individuals insisted that it be used for other means. Sacrifices in particular. There is a span of time that is required before Roxy can fully bring this establishment up and running. And while at the beginning of this, it was simply the day after all of these crazy things happened in Autumn Rock, you were told to come back in 2 weeks for when the establishment fully opens. During those 2 weeks, you all individually separate. That separation manages to provide you some of your own investigative time, some of your own contemplation. And in effect, you, within those 2 weeks, recall everything that happened on the day that you all had met, and nearing the end of the 2 weeks, some of you find yourself feeling perhaps a little bit of anxiety, perhaps a little bit of purpose in a sphere of an uncertain future, an uncertain fortune. Some of you literally find yourself restless. You can't wait until the end of the 2 weeks to come together and fully realize what is your individual purpose and the purpose of your fellow party members. However, we're not quite at that point. We are at the halfway point. We've had a couple of individuals manage to follow up on a particular piece of business in the city for those 2 weeks. But we have 3 more that have yet to be counted in that matter. So we are going to transition over to the map of SEGLESIA in just a moment. In which case, if I recall the initiative count, I believe the next individual is Zug.
Yes, let's do it.
And so
I'm going to say what I'm going to do in the span of how much time exactly?
that is 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Zug's going to find a nice patch of nature and a very peaceful place. He's going all over the city, looking for the perfect place, and just sits there, meditates a little, tries to contact Mogus for a little bit of guidance, tries to feel out the elements, and he pretty much does that. He does some exercises in his room. He keeps his body in shape, but he also every day goes out to meditate and try to contact Mogus for some guidance, maybe power, whatever he's feeling the day. So that's pretty much it, honestly. That's all he knows to do.
Understood. While it is all that Zug knows how to do, some of the details in that time allows you to really encounter the city. It allows you to really, because this is your first time in SEGLESIA. This is your first time in a city of small mans.
Yes.
And sort of you are doing what you can to fulfill your daily goals, your daily habits within this strange culture that you are unfamiliar with. However, you're gaining a little bit of insight on the inner workings of it. In terms of finding bits of nature, there are some parks, groves, and small wooded areas within the city. But you know that for the most part, much of that is set outside of the city. But your main goal is your meditation and prayer to Mokus, it sounds.
Yes.
In which case, from the map here, just to provide you some options, there are quite a few locations of wilderness, and of which I will give you I will give you the choice to choose a location where you feel Zug would gravitate to on this particular on a particular day within those 2 weeks.
Can it be a little bit outside the city?
Certainly. Of the places that you are aware of, you are most familiar with the area around Autumn Rock. So it may make sense for you to venture to the woods just north of Autumn Rock. So if I will go ahead and move your token. Unless there is a particular place on the map that you feel would capture Zug's attention.
No, he will probably do that. What you're saying, yeah, it's more logical.
Yeah. Now, this area of the map is one that is it's fairly rugged, heavily wooded, mostly unkempt. So, in terms of your finding your way around for the perfect spot, I want you to roll a survival check.
Let me see. Survival. I cannot find survival at the moment. Hold up.
You gotta scroll down.
Oh, it's not working, my scroll.
Ooh. If you look in the bottom right, there's like an arrow that you can like drag to make the character sheet bigger.
Oh, thank you so much, Sensei.
Yeah, it's a little convenient that survival becomes the only one that it cuts off at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the thing is that while you are somebody who belongs to a tribe that lives out in the wilderness, not every wilderness is the same. The terrain here is filled with crags. It's filled with mounds, thick brush. There are a couple of trails, but in particular, you're trying to avoid any of those trails. You're trying to find a private spot, a private location for you to worship and pray to Mogus. You manage to find yourself in the thicket. However, after spending maybe a half hour seeking what you feel would be an optimal spot for this, you decide to choose a spot that is in the middle of a thick string of bushes, vines, branches that seem to wind into each other. You're able to force your way through this, and there is a tiny clearing. You imagine that it is just enough for you to draw symbols upon the ground, perhaps with sticks or by drawing on the dirt. How do you imagine you will be setting the stage for this worship?
Using a lot of rock to circle a certain perimeter, and the main coordinates have a little big mounds of rock to represent the cardinal signs, and that's pretty much it. And of course, a symbol of Mogus drawn in the center by finger. Honestly, it's not using any twigs or nothing, just by finger.
Okay. All right. In which case, I would like you to make a religion check for your worship of your god.
Oh, I'm not rolling hot today. Fuck.
Don't got anything. Nope. Damn it.
Well, that is quite the neutral roll. And knowing how precise and how exact you must be in order to truly appeal to Mogus during one of these times, you, unfortunately, while in the 30 minutes that you spend doing your prayer, doing your meditation, there doesn't seem to be any particular message or answer from Mogus. You sense yourself properly getting centered, properly focusing on your god as you would any other time as you have practiced. But there is no answer from Mogus. In absence of Mogus, you find yourself in the middle of a thicket as the wind begins to howl and the sun begins to set. And it occurs to you that your time, it is possible that Mogus has heard you, but Mogus is choosing not to reveal if that is the case. So you complete your prayer, and you are now tasked to find yourself out of the thicket in the setting sun, which it is setting quickly, and things are getting quite dark. You do have dark vision.
Yes.
Okay. Then roll one more survival at without disadvantage, just a normal survival to find yourself on a path back to civilization.
Oh, come on, guys. What's wrong with Zug today?
Well, Unfortunately, it seems like you are unable to find your way back. While your dark vision usually leads you through this time of night, you are caught in a bit of a rainstorm, and you're forced to find some sort of mediocre shelter. With that said, there doesn't seem to be any known shelter. It's just a large tree, for the most part, that catches most of the rain, but not all of it. For this night in particular, you have discerned that you will unfortunately be spending the night out here.
Honestly, it sounds like some things would do, just getting lost in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I accept it.
Yeah. And in that reflection, it occurs to you just how much of a stranger you are in a strange land. There is a price for what fate has dealt you in your life, from the demise of the life that you know and forcing you on a path far away from where you are from. You find yourself in the middle of a dark night, physically and spiritually. But as the morning arrives and the sun begins to rise, you find yourself drenched, cold, and alone. But you're able to rekindle your spirit to find your way out of the wilderness and find your way back to where it is you are staying. This is an experience that seems to symbolize your stay here in SEGLESIA. But you know, just as before, your perseverance is key. Your strength is key. And for you to endure the slings of arrows of what fate has dealt you is the only thing that you have to do to get to the other side of this period in your life. And perhaps this party that you have been a part of, that you have found, is the path for you to find the necessary strength for you to accomplish what it is you need to do in your future. That is a solemn 2 weeks. However, these are the 2 weeks that you experience. We're gonna move down that initiative. There was some discussion between Rashid and Winvir about who was gonna go next and last. I don't remember where that left off.
I guess so. I mean, I did actually have something to talk to Winvir about.
Okay.
Rashid will probably, because remembering what Winvir said about like what kind of line of work he deals with. Rashid, after committing the tattoos on the individuals he saw in the dream, he'd commit that to memory and probably walk up to Winvir and ask, hey, Winvir, quick question. I may have sort of saw this in my travels and I was just sort of stopping by. Hopefully everything is doing well. But anyways, I saw this sort of tattoo thing and I was wondering, did it ring a bell to you? You've ever seen it before? And I'll kind of just draw the rough sketch of the thing that I saw.
Okay.
Tattoo? Can I roll a history check to figure out if I know it?
Based upon the description. Yeah, I would say
Yes.
you can. It'll be a high DC, but you may.
Thank you. I don't know it. Okay. I look back at
That is
Rashid.
correct. It's not something you recognize.
I look back at Rashid and go, sorry, can't really ring any bells. I would say if you're looking for something like that, recommend going to one of the arcane libraries. You should be able to have some knowledge there.
Really? Arcane? Well, I mean, the place that I sort of saw this thing was just on a couple of random street thugs. But they
sorry.
all had this sort of thing in, well, the exact
In that
same
case.
tattoo.
Sorry, I misheard the question. But
It's
in
all
that
fine.
case, you might, if you have your wits about you, you could always go down to either Red Chapel or Thorntown. They'd usually have answers there. That type of quandary.
I mean, I think it's at least, well, odd, but,
And when in doubt, always just pay a gold coin to your local beggar.
that
mean, I've
sounds
seen
like a terrible idea. Why would I ever do that?
These are the ones that have the ears in the streets. You'd
Well-
be surprised at how much info you get out of beggars.
Well, I think I should probably digress. That sounds not so much of a terrible idea. It's just like, Rashid will probably just look around in SEGLESIA and just probably find like a random beggar. Just like, hey Jim, you want to go look for just random things for me? Or like, I mean, I don't really...
Oh. Simple. You give your alms to the poor and you ask the question.
I guess it's worth a shot. Well, I do appreciate your help.
It's no problem at all, my friend. Now, if you excuse me, I have another matter to attend to.
So, Rashid's, yeah, he's probably just gonna go do exactly that. Cause I need to make sure. He does have a bit of gold, but he probably would have just did this anyways. He'll pretty much find a random beggar in SEGLESIA. Do I have to roll for that, or is it easy enough to find?
I would say that is not difficult to find. You do not need to roll to do that. Of course, one of the places that Winveer had mentioned would be the most likely location to find people within a spectrum of industrious laborers and those who are less fortunate. And so venturing out to either of those wards ought to give you certainty that you will find somebody.
Yeah. Rashid will head like towards like that sort of district and area. I think that would maybe be towards North Bank, I'm guessing and assuming here.
Well, North Bank in particular is sort of the docking riverside district. A lot of trade, a lot of stuff like that, which you're gonna find a lot of dock workers there for certain. A lot of people who, probably have knowledge of like shipments in and out and stuff like that. In terms of, I mean, that's an alternate option to finding a beggar. It really, in terms of your options to find to find more information about these vagabonds that had assaulted you in your dream. There are many different ways to go about it. Winvir's option is certainly one. From what little you know, they were bandits, and they had the particular tattoo, but there's not much else.
I mean, Rashid is, well, I mean, he's definitely interested, but he's not like going to spend too much time on it. He definitely will try to go the likes of Winvir's route, looking for that sort of thing. I mean, seeing exactly like what he could find or any sort of leads to maybe be able to help him out. I don't know exactly where that would be on the map, but I mean, if he could just go find a general area, because he knows the city obviously more than, you know, Sensei does.
Sure. Let's see. In terms of how accurate your search is, roll a general investigation check.
Ugh. I will try my best.
Or a history check, one or the other.
Both are terrible, but honestly, I think it feels more. I feel it's more thematic for history. 5.
Okay. So your journey is going to lead you to Thorntown. So I'll go ahead and drag your token up.
Thank you.
And you are going to manage to find yourself sort of pretty far out. I'd say about this distance here. I would say for a chunk of those couple weeks, you are sort of, you know, asking maybe a couple questions here and there, but you're looking for particularly a person that knows that particular symbol.
Yeah, just kind of a lead of the sorts. Something concrete. It's like, okay, I know I can probably find a little bit more information here. Right now, I'm just trying to find that thread or find that lead to get to that point. If there even is one, because I mean, Rashid doesn't know. That's why he's not really looking too far into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like as he's going about his day-to-day business, he will ask. He'll spend like an hour or two, maybe 3 at most.
Okay.
Kind of looking into it.
Gotcha. I would say, let's see. History check. Well, so the history check was supposed to be where in the city, and unless actually locating somebody. But you do actually, I mean, you do manage to locate somebody who seems like they are very well traveled. They are standing with a couple of individuals around a barrel with spare coals lit at the bottom of this barrel that is steel lined on the inside, trying to keep warm. At this point in time, the weather outside is getting plenty cold, and you can even feel steam coming off of your breath. But you find yourself approaching these individuals, and the one in particular.
One thing before I approach, if I could.
Oh, sure.
Rashid, he'll kind of like probably think for a second, and he knows his appearance isn't the most welcome. He's got a lot going wrong for him right now. He's not only the fact that he's an Oculine, that's already, he's fucked from that standpoint. Mm-hmm. But also with the little devilish horns coming out, it's just like, shit. So he probably would put on the hood, realize that, the horns are kind of preventing the hood from going on, and literally just make his own sort of hole to stick the horns through, and then try to approach, just to sort of conceal his face a little bit, identity as much as he kind of can with these big ass horns.
Gotcha. Understood. So, you do so, and you go ahead and approach the individuals, kind of in this alcove beyond the street. And what do you imagine that you say to them?
Oh gosh. I'll be honest. I'm gonna cut to the chase straight up with them. I'll be fiddling with a couple of coins in my hand and more, and just pretty much walk up and say, "Hello." To cut through the chase. I'll kind of make sure to approach like a non-intimidatingly or anything like that, but to cut through the chase, I'm looking for a bit of information. Information that I'm willing to pay for. Information on maybe a said individual, a gang or a group of the individuals of the sorts. And again, just sort of playing with the sort of coin in between my fingers.
Gotcha. The person who is standing in the middle of the two others, one is a gnome, the other is a human, and the person in the center is also human. The person in the center seems to be wearing a warmer coat than the other two, and has a thick beard and long hair, very, very scraggly. Seems to be showing a little bit of silver in their hair. And they raise their head up and they look to you and they say, "What's it to you, friend?"
Just want a conversation is all, but a conversation again, as I'm willing to pay for. And that is at least if you have information worth sort of talking about. And again, motioning forth, eyeing the sort of gold coin, again saying, like kind of making it pretty obvious, I'm going to pay you for this information if you got anything, or if you think you know anything.
You notice that the sight of the gold seems to glint almost off of the reflections of the other two, and they seem compelled immediately, but the person in the center isn't quite there. He is dead ass staring at you, and he says, "What sort of information are you looking for?"
I'm looking for... If you've heard of these individuals, I'm looking for, well, their whereabouts, so again, I can schedule a conversation with them. I just simply want to know where they're at, so I could, again, make a little bit of talk. I can show you it, but I can show you the things that I know, but again, I gotta make sure that you actually, well, you'll kind of at least know what you're talking about. Does that make sense? You actually have the information that I need. Better way to put it.
So, how can I be certain to have the information if I do not know, particularly what it is you are looking for?
Fine. That's fair. Here, I will show him the... goddamn. Fuck it, let's be reckless. I'll show him the symbol, the tattoo, pretty much. I assumed at this point Rashid has drawn it, and he'll display it to this guy. Does this mean anything to you?
You believe you caught a little wince in his eye. But to know more, you'll have to roll an insight check.
That being said, yeah, I'll do an insight check. Why not? Let's do this. Boop. I'm up and down, but it's an 11 anyways. Do I have a feature? No, I don't think so.
Nah,
charlatan.
He is going to look up at you and say, "Sorry, I don't know anything about that symbol."
Before he finishes, I will literally just pull out 5 gold pieces, kind of like Avatar at Last Airbender, put each sort of coin in between my fingers, and then just sort of hold them out towards him.
Persuasion check.
You got it. Damn, I'm okay at it. Apparently I'm really good right now. 21.
He stares at you almost completely like a statue for a long time. And everything around you goes a little quiet, a little silent, during this tense eye exchange. And he extends his hand.
Half first. Once you give me the information, then you get the other half.
So you provided him the first half?
Yeah, I'll give him the 3.
Okay.
Then I'll give him the last 2 if he actually tells me information.
Okay. So you provide him 3, and he takes the 3, and he sticks the 3 in his pocket, and he says, "I am not to speak of such things. However," and he looks to his left, and he looks to his right, and he looks to you and says, "I can provide you one clue. That is all."
So this is what money makes me, or gives me. I get to pay for it. Jokes aside. Alright, what exactly can you provide?
He raises his hand and he spins his fingers in a circle. And for a moment, you're not able... for a moment, it doesn't seem like anything happens. However, the wind picks up just slightly, just ever so slightly. And you catch the whiff of something coming through your nostrils. It's the smell of delicious things. It immediately entices you. It's the smell of freshly baked bread. It's the smell of cookies just finished baking. The smell of muffins with that perfect glaze on top. And he stops twirling his fingers, and you suddenly smell nothing. And the person looks to you, and he extends his hand for the rest.
I think I am a little hungry. Here. And I will I'll pass him the other 2 gold coins.
And he nods and he says, I appreciate the business, friend.
Just sort of nod and continue basically on his way. Rashid will probably start to ponder and think, I mean, does he know any bakeries that are nearby that are important? Or, I mean, he wonders whether it'd be like an important bakery, just a rundown bakery for these guys to find them. He wonders if it's just like a tavern, but it probably has to be a bakery of the sorts. If he doesn't know any information by himself, he'll probably, I mean, she's the only contact he's got. He'll probably go to Roxy and see if she knows any random bakeries in SEGLESIA that would be of note.
Gotcha.
If he doesn't know anything himself, though.
Understood. For the most part, SEGLESIA is filled with bakeries. There are many bakeries, just kind of dotted throughout the entire city. There is an entire baker's row located in the Guilders Quarter, in particular. This is what you know offhand. But in terms of asking Roxy, that will come at the end of the 2 weeks.
Fair enough. Oh, he's at least got another maybe piece to the puzzle. So he'll kind of just have to wait until then. But whatever has to do with this, maybe these band of thugs are some professional bakers. No, I'm kidding. But he definitely will look into that for sure. I guess the last thing that he'd probably do, nothing that would take too long. Throughout the weeks, he would probably, as he's sort of resting, he'd get contacted by someone. Definitely a strange individual that he's, for the most part, never heard from ever in the slightest. They'd probably mention to him that something is going terribly wrong. That some sort of darkness, some sort of strange force is making their way in a place that he should call home, but doesn't seem to be his. Somewhere below this sort of place that we call, well, Tahiri, in another plane, potentially called Hell. Rashid confused as hell, but kind of somewhat pondering and understanding, at least of where he got his sort of powers from, likes of his oculi heritage, but also infernal heritage. He'd stored that in the back of his mind for on the little grocery list of things to do in SEGLESIA and everything around.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, he'll probably do this at the base of operations. He'll take the sort of necklace that seems to be of Dindar, the god of undefined yet, because no one knows. I do. And then also Siri, the god of love. And he would make sure to say a prayer to both of them, in fact. Pretty much thanking them for, well, pretty much keeping him alive, and also his loved ones, whether it be his family or other loved ones, safe and sound. Not really expecting much of anything, but just to pretty much give thanks.
Understand.
And that'll be pretty much it.
That is a pretty full 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super.
Oh, and he trained with Zug, because, yeah, coach has got a coach.
Coach has got a coach.
That.
So Zug is going to be participating at least some of his 2 weeks training along with you. So
Yeah.
Last but not least, we are at Windfear. Windfear, how do you imagine that you will be spending these 2 weeks?
First, Windfear would be going back to Autumn Rock to go see the head of the Sentinels again.
Okay. So, just so that you lay things out for me, what is the itinerary for your 2 weeks? And
It was see the Sentinel. After that, see my lord. And then after that, I have to send a letter to an associate of mine. That's it.
okay, gotcha. All right. So your first stop will be to visit the Sentinels. So let me go ahead and start moving your token to Autumn Rock. You will notice entering into Autumn Rock that there are far less people located in this part of the city. The festivities have died down. It's interesting because it seems like a good portion of the city, or the good portion of this ward, exists particularly for the seasonal festivities. There are actual places of housing and living. There are a bunch of people who have shops here, so it is busy year round. But you will notice that a number of stalls, a number of particular buildings that are used for one attraction or another are repurposed for other things, perhaps a warehouse, perhaps a gathering location for those who want to pay a little money to gather there for the winter. However, one thing that is consistent is that the Sentinel Tower is always open. It is always available for those who wish to speak with the Sentinels, those who wish to report to the Sentinels so that they can assist with enforcement in Autumn Rock or what have you. You will notice, though, that even this far after the events of the Vagabond Arena, you will notice that the Sentinel Tower is still abuzz. That there seems to be multiple layers of checkpoint. But you were able to pretty much waltz into the tower itself. And in which case, it is not very difficult for you to find the person who is key to this tower, and that's Rigorous Dan. And he is having a quick discussion with a few of the Sentinels, and he's barking at them and sending them out on a task or whatever. And he looks over and sees you, and he says, Winfear.
Dan, it's so nice to see you again.
Indeed. So, I would like to, given the circumstances, there's unfortunately a lot of things that need changing in this part of the city, and a lot of rebuilding and
That's fine.
easing. But
I figured I'd give you a present. As I
come again?
I go into my little pouch and I pull out the vial of the dust, and it goes. Good news is most of those that were causing you trouble is most of those city watchmen are not going to cause you that much trouble. Bad news is most likely it's dealing with a worse problem.
He looks at the vial and he taps it. He recognizes it as ash. And he looks over and he says, I see. Well, I was just about to thank and congratulate you on on succeeding the task that I had set out for you. In short, as time is of the essence here, consider me in favor to the to House Tabalta, I believe it is.
Thank you. I just need just a quick signet of your quick signet so I can show to my lord, and I'll be on my merry way.
Well, there is no need. I've already sent out a correspondence to
Wonderful.
Severo.
Even better. Even better. Makes my job a little bit easier. Thank you. Oh, and one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was calling himself Watchman Evans. Sadly, he is still out there, so I'd recommend your men to keep an eye onto it a little bit longer.
Well, I'm pretty sure whatever.
The other two were dealt with.
I see.
So
well,
it's
in which case, I'm sure whatever reason they had for being here has expired, along with whoever this is, and he shakes the vial.
oh, that was the silent one.
He looks over at it and he shrugs. He's like, well, I must be getting back to work. No doubt, Severo would have received the correspondence by the time you see him next.
Yep, I'll just be checking up on that one. And thank you again, Dan, for this wonderful arrangement.
He nods, gives you a 2-finger salute, and you can tell that he is extremely busy. So without an extra moment, he diverts himself to approaching somebody in another room and begins talking about placement of sentinels in some far off area. And I guess you overhear the word Arcana. But that's about it. The continent, yes.
Guess they might be doing some studies there.
Oh, all right.
After that, I'm gonna head to my lord's manor.
All right.
I figured an in-person introduction. Well, not an introduction, but in-person talking about what happened is usually better.
Absolutely. So that is going to bring you to, in particular, you know that Severo has an office in the House of Inquiry. It is a high up office, and Severo, I believe the token I have for Severo is, I don't believe it is licensed art, so I might not show Severo's token in this exact moment. However, you will see that as you approach, there are a number of people bearing the symbol of House Tabalta throughout the entire floor that his office is on. Now, one thing in particular that does catch your eye unequivocally is on your way to the office. You notice the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters. While it doesn't show it on the map, the top has been completely blown off, and there is a shimmering, massive, shimmering shield or bubble around the site, and there are a number of Crown's Guard placed around this location. For the most part, you figure that your answers are going to come from Severo himself, and you are able to step into the waiting room of his office and the secretary recognizes you and says that Severo is tying up loose ends. It will take just a moment. To your misfortune, take this however you will. It does take about an hour of a wait.
Okay.
However, the door opens and you are being received, and Severo is there. He is writing and scribbling all sorts of things in a ledger. He peers up at you and he says, Pendragon?
Master Tabalta?
So, as he puts his quill away, he says, I received a correspondence as of recent about a particular arrangement, understanding with the head of the Sentinel Tower in SEGLESIA.
That is correct, my lord.
And he looks at you with a series of cold eyes, and he says, well, for somebody who is as new to this role as you are, but as ambitious as you are, he takes up his both of his hands and he golf claps. And it is maybe half sarcastic, half earnest. It's the kind of just pompous nature of Severo.
It's like getting a hug from Lord Ozai. Somehow it just feels unnatural, but it just feels so good.
Yes.
The jokes.
And he stands up, and without another pause, he says, that should be marginally helpful, but helpful, of course. Knowing what is about to happen in the next half week. You heard about the explosion at the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters.
Of course, sir. I was able to I actually did see it from across Autumn Rock. I was more surprised on how that happened, but what do you mean by the next half week, sir?
He speaks right at the moment where your sentence ends. Basically as if he was just gonna cut you off. Once again, this is Severo. This is exactly who the person is.
Oh yeah.
And he says, those damn mages have certainly done one for themselves this time. And unfortunately, it seems like we cannot trust the Artemon family, placed under house arrest for this particular incident. Of course, Dace has not been found, which is unfortunate. But in the next half week, this city is going to endure some hardship. Our court under the king cannot agree with a single thing, it seems. And House Tabalta will be joining with House Victaris in a joint effort, as all of the houses will be joining amongst each other into separate court factions. The city is going to be, well, physically intact, but in terms of jurisdiction, divided up. And you will not see a single day where this does not cause problems for the common rabble or ourselves, but it is of utmost importance that we show our rivals just what it means to be loyal to our king.
Of course, my lord. I mean, they're surrounded by barbarians and sycophants. And we're the ones that have the rightful rule when it comes to this. I would say it was the best we held up to the king, my lord.
Indeed so. The king in his coma. It depends upon those closest to the king, those that handle his secrets, those that handle the crown's guard, to protect his holdings at all cost. I will be watching very carefully to see who is most loyal to this cause, Winfear. Do not, for one moment, take that for granted. And before I send you off, as I do not have an abundance of time, please take this slight bit of intel. It will be for your eyes to begin, but by the time this half week is ended, most, if not all, officials will be aware of these charted plans upon this map. That is all. Good day, Pendragon.
Good day as well, my lord.
And so what he provides you is a map of SEGLESIA, which is, it's a little much for you to take in one site, but it has all sorts of details on it. And the thing is that the details in particular are not locations. There's no independent location marked on this map. It is literally all it is shading of territory. And I just want to make sure that I track down the right image for this so that I can apply it over the map. As I do, for the last part of your 2 weeks, you write a correspondence. Who's that correspondence going to be to? And what is it going to contain? Just in broad strokes.
Well, it's an illusionary script that I'm casting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to, I guess you can say, an associate of mine. It's gonna say, just have to give me a quick second. Sorry, it's been a while for the name, so just give me.
I know
Yes,
which
I
ones
remember
are.
the name.
Okay.
Remembered. It was
You can DM me.
Well, they probably don't know who this one is. I was gonna send a letter over to Sir Arbain Argella. I figured I was gonna keep it that one and not send it to the other one for the time being, just as she has her own problems to deal with.
Okay.
Deal with it.
Understood. And what's in this correspondence?
I was going to write excuse me. I was going to write what's been happening, the words of Tabalta, how the Crown's Guard has control over the Arcane Tower, and that if they want more Previ information I'd recommend sending in some Eladrian scoundrels.
Understood.
Magic seems to be a little bit high, but nothing they can't handle.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check in your wording. It will get to its destination, but Just that this is more for fun. This is less for
Yeah.
it's less for function.
Yeah, just give me a second. There we go. Persuasion. Yeah, boy. No, boy. Oh, come on.
All right. You are. It's wordy. It's like purple prose wordy. The meaning is in there somewhere, but you are using a lot of extra words. You're making it basically 2 pages of this information. However, the point is sent across, and you are able to send this illusory script document to a courier who can submit this information. And so to describe what you're seeing on the stream, everyone, and what you were seeing in the game, everyone, not just Winvir, this is a territorial map of Seglesia. 3 different colors: purple, green, and red. Red belongs to the Loyalists. The green belongs to a group known as the Reformers, and then purple belongs to a group known as New Monarchy. In which case, I will also reveal to everybody, for context, that near the end of the 2 weeks, you start seeing this flyer floating around that says, "Notice, by decree of the City Watch, and for the safety of the general public, all must remain aware of their surroundings and the following faction sigils." You notice that Reformers consists of 2 houses, Denil and Foyer. Loyalists consist of Tibalta and Victaris, and New Monarchy consists of Greymont and Hammerhilt. You may notice, Winvir, that there are 2 names missing from that whole section, and those names are missing because those names are unconfirmed. They are neutral. They are not involved in this political quarrel throughout the city. But the rest of this flyer says, "All Desians of Seglesia that enter faction territory place themselves at the mercy of local statutes, custom, and judgment, and at risk of faction surveillance and enforcement. All Desians must carry full documentation and adhere to factional law when moving within marked territory. The City Watch stands vigilant, but may not be able to assure jurisdiction. Travel at your own risk. By decree of Lieutenant Garrett of the Seglesia City Watch." Almost all of the city is painted a color. And essentially what this means from a high level, my party, is that as you do things around the city, what you encounter will be flavored specifically by what faction owns that part of town. And I will describe more details of why this will play into the campaign once everybody returns to Roxy's. So, the 2 weeks have finished. It is the dawn of a new day. And each of you find yourself standing outside of the building that Roxy has chosen to be the location. Roxy, of course, lives in the upstairs area, but the location that Roxy was engaging in renovation. It is at this point. Oh, thank you, Zug. I knew I was missing somebody.
I got you.
Just to just to make sure all 4 of our players and characters, all attentive, all ready to return. You remember when you left, this building looked something to the degree of this. By the way, big credit, huge credit to Dungeon Alchemist, which is a software that I've used to put together some of the maps that I use. And it does have sort of 3D rendition of those maps. This is what it did look like. However, as I change up the music here, choosing our music. I'll choose this one. Sort of a bold new day as you each return. You notice that it has since improved quite a bit. It now looks like this.
Okay.
Looks nice.
Absolutely. And you are all well impressed by the work that has been done. You find yourself approaching, and allow me to switch over properly to that scene. Also, just want to make sure once again that I Roxy and Co. preload the scene for everybody.
Pretty good.
Oh, bully. Hey, does everybody see everything?
Yep, I do.
I do over here.
Okay. I need to
See
reinsert
it.
King.
It has the shadows and everything. That's cool.
Yes, Dungeon Alchemist. Here's a free plug for the people behind Dungeon Alchemist. Now the thing is that before I do that, I have to reload because apparently it did not load it on my stream, so that's unfortunate. But let's see, player characters. Let's throw up his King in there. Make sure that he is good. Loading the map. Now we can see the map. Although for some reason this token is not showing. There we are. Everybody can see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Yes. So you find yourself stepping into a well-polished, well-furnished location.
Zug is immediately scared when he sees some sort of cleanliness and instantly asks, "Where's the ritual room?" No! He starts looking for it.
Yeah, is this the right place? I thought there was a little more trash around. This is nice.
Well, it's been 2 weeks. It should give it enough time for cleaning.
It's true.
Is that Zug?
Yes! I want sacrifice room!
Coming.
Orgoff gonna be very sad.
And this door opens, and Roxy steps out with her arms extended and says, "Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the grand opening of Roxy and Company, the talent agency of SEGLESIA, bringing you the absolute top tier, the absolute best adventuring help that money can buy." And she immediately takes up a bottle of liquor and starts pouring shots for all of you.
Roxy.
Zug. Well, you
Where's sacrifice room?
Sacrifice room. Did we have a sacrifice room in plan? Do you guys remember? Was that a thing?
I was going to say you outdid yourself, but I mean, if there's no sacrifice room, then come on. You've got the sacrifice room hanging out there somewhere.
Well, I
I
mean,
the
if,
training room.
if you all feel that way about it, then, of course there's a sacrifice room. You think I would forget about my main arena fighter, Zug, and Orgoth, the fantastic red orc, of which sacrificing to Mogus is of utmost importance.
Yes, exactly.
Well then, in which case, let me go ahead and lead you to your sacrifice room, my friends. It is time that you get a full and proper introduction of this new place that I have to show you, my friends. And she hops over the counter. Oh, shoot. She hops over the counter and she says, "Follow me." Opens this door.
But there we go.
And she steps behind a desk and says, one sec, where is it? Says, "Ta-da! Welcome to where the magic happens, baby. This is my office, but not just my office. This is my office working for you, fine and fantastic adventurers. In the next room, you will see a location of which we have all mutually designated as a location for training, but for ritualistic sacrifice to Mogus, as you requested."
Yes.
So, allow me to open the door and reveal to you your sacrifice room. And as you step in, oh, by the way, I'm literally in the midst of finding a symbol to throw down on the floor. So I realize that is something that should probably be added. But you see a large symbol of Mogus that is literally engraved upon the floor, right in the center. And as a matter of fact, I need to update this map and move that training thing a little bit north. But there is a constellation of Mogus that is literally engraved upon the floor, and instead of there being small candles in the room, there is an assortment of large torches. The room itself is lined in blood red sash all throughout, just curtains. And this seems like a proper room to do sacrifices to Mogus.
Zug is so happy right now that he's going to skip around, just admiring the constellation. Just skipping around. Very beautiful!
He seems excited about the sacrifices.
Do you want to know something that's hilarious? So I'm on Google right now and I look up Mogus God symbol, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one that shows up is the Mogus God of Slaughter organization in Project Aurora.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's not funny. My computer decided to break again like before, so Wouldn't be surprised if I have to restart again.
Ah, shit. I'm sorry.
Funny enough, I will lose all my artistic progress once more. Feels good, man. Feels real good.
Oh, well, that's weird. Okay, well, that token is not gonna do the job, but let's just pretend that that's the symbol on the floor. It's a big symbol. It is much larger than what you see here. Image. Let's see. Let's make it 4.
Wait,
and
nope,
then
I'm good. Hell yeah.
Opacity. There we go. That's the symbol that's on the floor.
Yes!
And
the bigger man's is pleased!
Apparently it didn't take out what was supposed to be transparent backgrounds.
I imagine there's like fuck Iroh's posters hanged up and everything.
Yes. Fuck him.
Hell yeah.
She's just looking at this just like, yeah, this sounds about right.
And Roxy claps her hands and says, I'm so fabulously excited and happy that you are happy, because your happiness, it's important to me. And she's going to proceed to give you sort of a tour throughout the rest of the complex. First, kind of getting a quick look-see at this room. Of course, I will update it on the map proper for next session. But then on top of it, just kind of showing you what the collection of back rooms looks like from an angle. And after she's given you the tour, she returns back to the office and then sits behind the desk, leans back, and takes both of her hands and kind of rests back a little bit, kicks her heels up onto the desk, and says, so what do you think?
What? Oh, are you going to say something, King?
No, that's it. Just
No. A man of action, not words, but Roxy, you will lean on the sort of desk and all that stuff. You've outdid yourself. Fantastic work.
Zug in love with it.
She takes her shades and she slips them on and she grins. A big toothy orc grin. Just flashing pearly whites. And then she takes her shades off and then puts them in a drawer and closes the drawer and takes her feet off of the desk, moves forward and places her hands on the desk and goes, so, couple things. First, I want you to have something. This is I guess you can say a token of my gratitude, but a symbol signifying that you are indeed combatants, adventurers, what have you, for Roxy and company. And she pulls open another drawer and takes out a number of pins that have basically a logo of a fist, and that fist is on fire. These are like basically little pins that you would put on your shirt. And she lays them out in front of you and she says, it's the company logo. Now, of course, you don't have to wear these, but these do have I guess you could, a bit of an additional property. If you need to contact me for any reason, usually once a day, you can take one of these and you can, send me a quick message if you need to let me know about something.
Interesting.
And of course,
And what did you say
vice
these
versa.
things look like again?
They're pins. They're metal pins that are, let's see, the size of like two. That is an Americanized reference, but I was going to say 2 quarters, the size of 2 quarters, one after the other. How about this?
Gotcha.
2.5 inches. Let's say 2.5 inches.
Inches America.
Yes. God damn it. 3 centimeters, maybe 4 centimeters. God damn it. Centimeters. That's what they are. And they are easy pin. You just kind of put them on your shirt and pin on the other side if you wish. Of course, Roxy gestures over to you, but of course, knowing Victor here, wink. The work is worth more of the squeeze than showing this off. But of course, branding is important. That's why I have the symbol painted all over the front. That is to say, I'm gonna get a sign soon that says Roxy and Company with that symbol emblazoned on it.
Yeah, interesting. That being said, we probably do really need to. If you're going to do the whole thing with the branding, we probably really need to figure out a name soon. But again, best wait till Orgoth and Ray are here for that.
Well.
Zug doesn't have any place to put the pin, so he pierces his eyebrow next to another piercing and just leaves it there.
Metal.
Alright,
Awesome.
you're trying to make me write or draw some New York for you, huh? Is that what you're trying to do?
He's wrapping the cause after the ritual room, though.
So, Roxy leans forward and she says, I've been giving that a little bit of thought. Now, of course, it's always a suggestion. It's always up to you. But, you wanted to do something with sacrifice. It was important. And then, I was sort of looking in the mirror.
Sacrifice. You gotta really, emphasize the S.
I like
yes.
how Snake Man says it.
Sacrifice. Well, I was
See,
thinking.
now you got it.
I was thinking about sacrifice when I was looking in the mirror the other day, and I was, just kind of making sure that, I got all the necessary, makeup on, all the piercings, got my hair just right, and then it occurred to me, I was staring right at it. I was staring right at the idea. Hey, what would you think about the name? Now, of course, it's your choice, but presentation is key if I'm going to suggest it to you. What about the name? And she stands up. She pulls out the drawer, takes the shades again, pops them open, slides them on, and then does that pose with the crossed arms and the raised head and the big toothy grin, and then takes her hand and does a two-finger like shot motion, and she says, "Righteous sacrifice."
That is not bad. Not bad at all. What do you all think?
Zug like sacrifice.
Like, you like the name sacrifice, or you'll just like sacrifice? Actually, I know the answer.
Big
to that. Never mind.
Mans! Big Mans!
Never mind.
Hey,
What were you saying, Winveer?
Yes, let's hear what Winveer has to say.
Well, in terms of what naming would be, I would truthfully put it on hold for the time being, but a placeholder would probably be better. Temporary name, if you will.
Well, it seems we have our first detractor. Hey, King, huh? What do you think about it, bud? The righteous sacrifice, doesn't it just kind of roll off the tongue?
I mean, if everybody else likes it, that's fine with me.
I take that as an agree. So, of course, Zug, baby, if we want to be called the big mans, I just, there's a little bit of a gender connotation there once again. We could be the big ones, huh? Big ones. But, that could be... that could be...
big sacrifice.
The big sacrifice. But that's like a pet name. That's like not a pet name, a nickname. Righteous Sacrifice, TM, that's the branding. The Big Sacrifice, that's the shorthand. And she points to her temple like, oh, I got this all in the brain. See, I'm so crafty.
Just double it. Sacrifice big.
It's like, I'm loving it. Play with the name as much as you want, my cubs. Sacrifice, big sacrifice. Double trouble, big sacrifice.
Genius.
I do not know what is going on anymore, but I am here for it.
Well, you're certainly here for something. But, now, to business, huh? To business.
To business.
Throughout these 2 weeks, some things have been going on here in the city, as many of you may have been aware. There's a lot of unrest in this city. Lots and lots of unrest. And we were right on the precipice not too long ago, but now it seems that this the city is divided in a way that I've never seen before. It's going to create some complications going forward, but I managed to get a few inquiries into potential work for each of you. So, allow me to bring out Roxy's Big Book of Quests, baby. And she takes a key that is in a necklace from around her neck, and she reaches down to a bottom drawer and unlocks it. And you hear... Well, I guess that depends. Everybody roll a perception check.
Said it's here?
You
instead
hear.
of like a site?
Yep. It's
Gotcha.
Specifically...
Nope.
I think I hear something. King doesn't.
I do like my ring.
Well, I guess hear and potentially feel. But not see. Each of you just hear a click. It's an unlocking of something. However, Winvir, you notice as soon as you hear the click, it's very slight. You hear the shuffling and moving of metal on metal. It's just very quiet. And you almost feel just a tiny chunk underneath your feet. As if whatever she has clicked with this key isn't actually opening the drawer, but is unlocking something that is underneath the floor and is sliding up whatever it's supposed to be. And you notice that you can't actually see the bottom of the desk. like the desk itself seems to be more or less fastened to the floor. So whatever it is she unlocked, it seems to be locked away underneath the floor and not simply in the desk itself. However, after this, she reaches in and she pulls out a big leather book that has a massive symbol of Roxy & Company on it and the company logo. And she sets it down and she taps her fingers on it and she looks at you and says, "So, are you ready? Do I have your ears, my cubs? Do I have your full and undivided attention?"
I'm listening.
She just still messing with the pendant, figuring out where he's gonna put him on his horns or his side, just like, oh yeah, yeah, yep, mm-hmm.
Snake Man, do it like so.
I don't know if that's. I don't think I have any more room here. I think that I don't want to sort of intrude on your style. I'll leave that to you.
Okay.
All right. And seeing responses from three of you, Roxy looks over to King and says, "How about it, my dragonkin friend? Are you ready?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm good.
And she looks at each of you and she opens up the book. And it is a large book. And on it you see a sort of a magical script appear. And it is at this moment, my players, that I get to introduce to you the central mechanic of Arc 2, potentially going forward beyond Arc 2. Allow me to find proper music that may set the tone here. I'm going to waffle through some of this music here. Is this going to be good enough? That doesn't seem to be playing anything. How about this one? Nope. I want something that's a little bit more upbeat. I'm missing some tracks, I realize. No, that's battle. Let's see, boss battles. Dang, I figured I would have had some really good music to this. But, hey. Shit. none of these tracks work for what I'm trying to go for. That's okay. We're
start beatboxing. You got it.
My name is Roxy and I'm about to slang down these missions to you. You know this thing. And okay, so I'm not even gonna fucking freestyle because that's just gonna be terrible. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that at all.
You tried, bro. Nice try. That's what we like to see.
D4 for effort.
Yes. We give the DM inspo.
Oh, let's stick with this one for now. Okay, allow me to load up and describe to you how this works. This is the Tales of SEGLESIA quest system. This is a mechanic that I'm introducing. And I'm going to activate this next scene. So hold on to your butts. Allow me to describe to you how the Tales of SEGLESIA quest system, otherwise known as the Righteous quest system. The campaign, the rest of the campaign is going to be delivered as a collection of adventures and one-shots taking place within the setting of SEGLESIA. The system consists of quest points, renown, available quests, unlockable quest lines, story quests, and Seglesian encounters. First, quest points. Upon completion of any adventure or one-shot, a point is awarded to the party. Anytime you complete a quest, you get a point. Accumulating these points allow you to advance the story. Allows you to move to the next story quest, which is basically what I intend to be the central story of the campaign. However, what happens from here to then will heavily condition what happens in that story quest. In this case, the next story quest is directly investigating what happened at the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters. It will require 3 quest points total. Upon accepting a story quest, those points are spent, and then we restart, essentially. From the available quests that you have, as time goes on, Roxy and company receives tips on certain happenings in the city and certain individuals that need help from adventurers. There are plenty of adventurers in the world of Tahiri, but something about Roxy's marketing and sales pitch efforts exude a level of professionalism. Now, whether you are professional or not, remains to be seen. But the idea is to gain quest points, you must participate in available quests. Many of these quests are going to be character agnostic, which means they may not have something to do specifically with one of you as a character. However, there will be opportunities for you as a character to advance your storyline in each of these quests. The available quests will be 3 to 4 quest options. They will be delivered for you to choose. Some may stick around even if you don't choose it now, and may be available later. Others may be strictly time sensitive. Basically, you are to ask Roxy about what she knows about each quest so that she can give you a proper insight on them. For the sake of beginning and simplicity, none of these quests are time sensitive, so therefore you can round back to any one of these quests later. In addition to these quest options, there is a final option that I've titled Rolling the Dice. What rolling the dice is saying no to this list of quests and instead stepping away and taking up a custom task that you want to fulfill someplace in the city. Maybe it's based upon a lead, based upon an important thing that you feel needs to be done, or you use it to carouse and explore the city, looking for a quest to take up, looking for something to participate in. Choosing the roll the dice option basically allows me to roll a random, as part of it, roll a random encounter. About those encounters, there's what is called SEGLESIA encounters. Before I go on, do I still have everybody? Does anybody have any questions? I don't want to speed forth before people have their opportunities. Okay.
That makes all sense to me.
Okay. All right. That sounds like compliance. Excellent. SEGLESIA encounters. These are not your normal encounters. There will be no normal encounters in this campaign. All encounters are based upon a couple of customized D100 lists that I have personally handcrafted and assembled for SEGLESIA. They will provide an array of possibilities. One of the D100s is generally setting, basically just flavor of you exploring the city. Another is for the encounter itself. At any point, because of the escalation in the unrest of the city, anytime you travel from point A to point B, regardless of what the quest is, you will need to roll for an encounter. These encounters will consist of very basic skill tests, certain social encounters, potential combat encounters, story developments, positive fortunes, negative fortunes, and many others. These encounters should take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, usually, except in cases where it's combat. Now, if you choose to roll the dice instead of take up one of these quests, then the encounter becomes the quest. And you can make that choice. You can make that choice now, or you can make that choice partway into the encounter if you feel like, no, I want to see this encounter through. Basically at that point, since the encounter becomes the quest, upon completing that encounter, you gain a quest point. It's my way of saying, hey, here are some predetermined quests that I have cobbled together. However, if you want to go off script, if we want to do a little bit more improv, if we want to just kind of get into shenanigans, get into whatever, then I provided the roll the dice option. Also, rolling the dice is the same as taking up a task that's not on this list. With that said, if you take that option, it will likely not be a lot of pre-planned stuff. The pre-planned stuff that I have prepared will be in the form of the quests I present here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Oh, sir, was there a question?
No.
There was not. Okay. Excellent. Last but not least, now I mentioned something about renown, but we're going to get into that the next time we play. We're not going to get into it now.
Okay.
However, last but not least, as I activate this next scene, unlockable quest lines. These are your character quests. These are for you specifically. These are locked as of right now. The point that they become unlocked is dependent upon a lot of variables. It depends on certain things that you may encounter in a few of those quests or in an encounter. The unlocking of these quests, just hands down, will be between you and me. It will be between me DMing you and communicating with you, like when one of these quests will be available. Obviously, I'm setting it up that way because I know that certain individuals have certain, certain players have certain agendas in terms of whether they're going to be consistently available for the campaign. Or whether they will need to switch gears and maybe do another Project Aurora campaign, or whether a certain event in the campaign makes it necessary to follow up on a certain character's quest line. So that is going to be played ad hoc. That's going to be played by ear and within my personal communication with you as players. But here is a shorthand of it doesn't really describe much about the quest, but it does reveal very I would say sparse enough information about what that quest entails in its goal. Any questions?
No, I think I got it.
I got it.
Super.
Sounds pretty dope.
Awesome. And of course, these also count for quest points towards story story results. In which case, I appreciate your patience. I appreciate you listening to my presentation of the Seglesian quest system mechanics, otherwise known as the Righteous quest system. Returning back to the available quests here, there are 3 that show up on the book in front of you. And Roxy sort of, scratches behind your ear and says, I came up with the naming convention. It's I'm somebody who likes using language to get the point across. But of course, you always have the option of just going throughout the city wherever you want and seeing what kind of stuff you get into. However, these 3 individuals seemed to sort of jump off the page. So I figured, as our inaugural quest for Roxy and Company, these are the ones that I feel would fit you best.
So, I mean, well, okay, this is, I don't know if you want us to decide out of game or in game, or
I would say while we are in game, I am totally cool just having the discussion. I do not believe that it will detract from the time. I already have content for each of these. So it is, but of course it's dependent upon you too, because if you would rather take off-stream time to choose which one, that is a-okay as well. But I am setting this up specifically on stream, in character, out of character, however you want to have the discussion.
Out of game, that dungeon crawl sounds sick as fuck, but in game, Rashid is also kind of on the same wavelength.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all the same.
I'm feeling the frog's life over here.
Hey, frog's life. But in game, Rashid would probably say, I mean, I am looking for a couple of individuals. I don't know if they'd be a part of a thieves guild, but I mean, well, hear me out. It's worth at least checking out, and then, I mean, I'm always here for sacrifice. And also, I mean, Winveer, I feel, I could be wrong, I could be assuming, and I don't want to assume, but I feel like you would be very, very helpful in knowing possibly what thieves guilds could be up to, and maybe being able to dissect exactly what they're capable of. I'm just, I could be assuming, but I don't know.
Sadly, I don't have that type of knowledge onto me, the connections, but they usually tend to be able to stock a lot of their invoices they have. It would help and help take down a lot of the problems they're having with the kingdom. As he looks back at everybody, considering the fact that most of you are very capable fighters, I'm pretty sure if you go down there with any type of assistance, mostly me, somehow it just end up worse. All right. Looks like we gotta deal with a couple of scoundrels.
Kill!
The frog's life it is. He's gonna fucking high five somebody. We got the dungeon crawl boys.
Thieves have treasure. I want it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. You are very correct. Oh, yes. Yeah, there was no way we're probably going to choose anything else. I mean, the Gold Mercers Guild, that's cool and all, but I mean, I kind of don't feel like angering an entire faction. Well, actually, then again, this is a faction. But these are a bunch of nobodies. They're local. See, if they were cool, they'd have a name.
Like big man.
Like
Exactly.
Sacrifice.
Exactly.
Sacrifice.
I mean, this I gotta tell you about the letter that this frog sent me. It said something like, dear most esteemed Roxy of the Righteous, it is of my utmost honor to make your acquaintance. Something, 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 flowery language, something, 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 rat catchers. That's a known gang.
Okay, I was gonna say, do we know who they are? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say history check.
Got it. History check. Please let me know.
Zach doesn't know at all, so I don't know, right?
Fuck!
There we go.
Pain!
That's why you have me.
That is true. That is why we got you.
Default, you've
Super
heard the
skill.
name before. Everybody has heard the name. You absolutely, Rashid, would have heard the name before. Deep, and you know, and you would absolutely know that the rat catchers they're your run-of-the-mill, just broad strokes thieves guild in the city. And they've showed up pretty much throughout the entire city in one fashion or another. They are, it is a household name among gangs here in the city. Winveer, you know for a fact that the thieves guild that is the rat catchers is the reason why they are so prominent is because they have a way of attracting people who want to make some money doing nefarious things. And they're just really good about their outreach. There's nothing necessarily special about them. They are not super, I would say they're not super well connected with any particular racket in the city. But there are many different pockets. It's very decentralized of a gang. And you get and of course, knowing that it's the rat catchers, it occurs to you that, okay, that is quite a large gang. At the same time, if you piss off one pocket of the gang, unless you do something very dire, you're not likely to get the entire gang on your back. Because as I mentioned, the gang is decentralized and there are multiple pockets. You can almost think of it's like it's a franchise. It's not like McDonald's, but it's a franchise.
Franchise. I see. It's actually in the family business.
Yeah, exactly. There is no one boss in the rat catchers. There's no one single boss. There are only individual bosses per pocket that they take up, per area of the city they take up. And that's what you know. So, I see you talking about the very extravagantly speaking frog. So is that the one you're hoping to go with?
Sounds like that'd probably be the one.
Yeah,
I got outvoted, so
kill a lot of people.
Oh, hey, I mean, who doesn't want nefarious types being, run out of their little pocket in the city. It does good for everybody. I'm sure your name will certainly pass into the annals of everybody that has ever went up against the rat catchers. There's a lot of people. However, listen, especially times like these are opportune times for a thieves guild to try to take advantage of people. Keeping the order, keeping people safe, you'll get rewarded for that. So, a frog's life, is it?
Sounds like a win-win-win. Let us do this.
Yes.
Excellent. She winks and she closes the book. And in which case, I am instantly going to bring you back to the city map, which is buried underneath 10 different things, because I'm so cool with my maps. Map of Seglesia. Let's preload that baby, and let's bring it up. I'm much more on point with my music decisions at this point. So, the location is pointed out on the map. Now I want to say one thing about Foundry. It provides, Foundry provides the ability to put in a foreground image, but for one reason or another, actually no, I think I could take all of your images and put them above. Let's see, let's elevation 2. Vision.
Oh, if you really got to do it, I mean, typically what I do is I just duplicate the map and then, or duplicate the scene and then put the background images of the map. The foreground stuff is confusing to me.
Where it's, yeah. I'll get to that next week.
Yeah.
So, based upon the flyer, just to recap, based upon the flyer, red is loyalists, green, and I have to pause. I understand that these may be details that you either you as a player or you as a character don't want to, or may not find important or necessary for what you want to get out of the campaign, which I understand. This is, to me, this is a relevant part of running anything in Seglesia in this campaign. So I would like to humbly ask that anybody who is participating just factor this into your play. It's part of what I'm presenting in the campaign. Now, if you have any questions or concerns or disagreement with that, I'm open to hear them out of the after the session. However, I just so that you're aware, this is an important part of the story. So where is he located? He's located right here. As I bring up the token. And so you were provided directions to this part of the city. In which case, before you embark, Roxy says, now, we're just starting here, so it's not like there's a lot of equipment to requisition, but not a lot of necessarily funds for it. But there's always the opportunity later for me to get my hands on certain things, even siege equipment if you really want it. But I think for this case, it's just going to require your brawn and your know-how and your combat proficiencies. But is there anything that you wish to do before heading out on this quest? Anything you wish to do to prepare?
Out of game. Can I restore my first level spell slot back?
I would say yes. At this point, everybody is refreshed. Everybody's taking long rests.
Other than that, I am good.
I got one thing, mainly to ask Roxy before I forget. Hey, the Roxy, quick question. Yeah, I mean, same sort of song and dance. Show her the tattoo, see if she knows anything about it. Yada yada. And then if she does, well, I mean, also saying, apparently I'm hearing that maybe I can possibly find this in Baker's Row. A couple of guys had it, and I was confused on what it was. And not the friendly type either.
She scratches the back of her head a little bit, and she takes a breather and she says, "Interesting. Well, I don't know anything offhand, but you know me. I'm Roxy Righteous. I can pull a few strings, see if I can find something out for you, Rashid."
Yeah, keep it near to the ground. I appreciate that.
She nods.
All right. Also, it's fine if I can't. Can I read the fucking message to Sandman before I forget for 4 more sessions? It's fine if I can't right now.
Oh shit! I just thought of something too. There's that. But then there's also, I never actually effing rolled what your winnings were for the monster milestone.
Yeah.
So,
Not to mention the chest.
Well, yeah, you just said that.
Yeah, that's
that was
what
the winnings.
That's the winnings. Okay. So, let me do that really quick.
We'll get into this quest right after a shopping trip. I don't need anything really.
Okay, so first of all, you want to read the note that Sandman had provided you.
Yeah, because I forgot about it, to be fair, and I had like an epiphany in chat.
So the note is in a cipher script. It's very short. You get the immediate sense that, like, okay, well, it's in a cipher script. Why would he give me something in a cipher script? Unless one of the things he's trying to set out for you is, like, if you're truly determined, you'll figure out what this cipher script is.
Rashid would just literally say, "Son of a bitch. Making me use my brain and everything. Alright, Sandman."
Like, it's a test. You're being tested. This is your first test. Find out what this cipher script means.
Alright, I have no idea how Rashid will figure this out, but he will use his brain power and the processes of walking to our quest location. That is it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
I don't have any.
Understood. So bringing up the necessary, let's see, this is technically a horde. Here's what I'm going to do for all of y'all. First and foremost, I want somebody, let us say King. King, roll a D100 for us.
All right.
76. The treasure hoard consisted of Zug, that is say Ambrose. Please roll 2d4.
2d4.
Yes. It consists of six different pieces of art objects, which appraised, each of the six is about 25 gold pieces. So, a total of 150 gold pieces worth of art objects.
That is for Zug or for the whole party?
That is for the party.
Okay.
On top of that, Rashid, there is potentially a magic item in here.
I see.
Yes.
Could a said individual identify what that would be? Oh wait, shit, I'm stupid. But I'm gonna still try anyways.
So, let's see. Magic item. Table D. Roll a D100.
All right, let's see what this is. 56, like almost right down the middle. Close.
It is a spell scroll. It will require some identification to know what scroll it is. Does not necessarily need to happen right away, but it is something that you absolutely have now.
I mean, I would think it'd be probably best try to be as prepared as possible before possible combat and all that stuff. I mean, if it's cool, and we could wait, can I just identify it? Like, I'm asking the party, like, we got time? Can I identify this real quick?
You have a couple options. You can identify it and know precisely what it is, or you could do an Arcana check. If you succeed the Arcana check, I can at least tell you what level it is.
What's the difference of what I have to do to identify it between Arcana? Between that and making the Arcana check.
If you use Identify, then you know exactly what spell it is.
Oh, if I have the Identify spell, well, I ain't got that. Unless, Winver, you got that up your sleeves, yeah, we're making that fat Arcana check. Alright, I'll take that as a note. So, yep, let's do this. 8. I'm still stupid. I don't think I've rolled above a 10 in the entire time.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I rolled an 11.
You don't know what level it is.
Unfortunate. Alright, well, maybe another time.
So, on someone's journal, make sure to, or on your character sheet, one of you ought to be holding on to the spell scroll. Make sure to write it down. Also, by the way, if you feel like any of the things that you have could potentially get lost or stolen or something during an adventure, you can always leave it at Roxy's. There is a lockbox system for storing things.
Zug knows that?
Roxy's gonna let you know about that. Right as she is handing you the spell scroll from the chest.
Oh, I wanna store something.
What do you want to store?
I wanna store the spinal cord I stole from the golem, so it does not break.
Okay. Roxy takes this thing and she's looking at it like up and down. She's like, Did you want me to see if I can get this like mounted or something?
No, leave it. Leave it somewhere. It's trophy.
I mean, it looks like a goddamn spinal column and a skull.
It is.
She shrugs and says, "Okay, well, lockbox it goes."
You know, rat golem.
Yes, I was there. That's what got me to find y'all. Okay, any more questions?
The good.
Okay.
Go on the adventure.
Excellent. So to the adventure. This is your first, and I guess for the sake of making things less confusing for now, I'm actually going to take off that coloring, either make it easier to see for later or embedded into the map, one or the other. Save. Boom. So, my friends, obviously, Orgoth is going to stay here. Make your travel to your destination. And I'm going to need King to roll a D100 and Winveer to roll a D100.
Oh boy.
Okay. This is the first of many handcrafted Seglesian encounters. Could be short. Could be sweet. Could be a whole lot of trouble. So, King, this is going to tell us a little bit about the setting that you are crossing as you are traveling. Feel free to move your characters partway on your journey.
Or Zug. Oh, I just don't see him on my map. That's it.
I would say pretty much up to about maybe this point.
Wait. I can't move. There's a wall here.
There's a wall. Oh shit! What happened? Why is there a wall here? Let me delete that nonsense. That doesn't belong there. Okay, cool.
Oh, so can you do me a favor, Matt? Can you delete Zug's token and then like paste it back? I can't really see it.
Okay, gotcha. So let me do that.
Thank you.
Bye, Zug. You're gone.
Oh no!
Goodbye.
Faded away.
Cosmic death.
Hello, Zug.
Oh,
Hey, there's my good old green
look at that.
punching buddy.
The first one that comes back from cosmic death is
Okay.
Zug.
That
Nah,
first
that was
roll.
Navro. He got you beat.
So, that first roll is the flavoring. It tells us a little bit about the places that you are passing, a little bit about the setting. You rolled a 35, King.
Yeah.
All right. As you were traveling through the city, you encounter what you would figure to be the common bustle of people going to and from their destinations, wagons passing. You notice that whereas you're used to seeing city watch members, you're seeing much more faction-oriented members in this part of the city. People bearing the sigil of the loyalists, specifically of houses Tybalt and Victaris. There's one thing that you do encounter on your journey. It's a sense of color. The thing is that not much of Seglesia is known for bright colors and vibrant shades. It's something that falls away with the age of its buildings and the permanence of some of its enterprises. Yet, some parts of the city lean heavily on the side of flaunting their stuff. Here, you encounter a long row of buildings that are painted in various bright colors, each employing a color scheme of roof tiles, window frames, and front doors that give each building a sense of vibrancy and character. Likewise, the Desians on the street have also taken the wearing clothing dyed in bright shades. While the city's recent events have taken their toll here, just as anywhere, this place does what it can to continue to sport its chromatic ways. As such, I'm going to put a token on this particular part, as the first roll is also a bit of a world building, just a tiny piece of world building, and this is going to be considered chromatic way. Let's see, where are my map icons? And a good icon for this will be... Oh, let's keep it simple. I'm going to change up these tokens, but right now I'm going to put one here that is a camera. I took these I took these from a token site. So oh no, even better. Boom. There's that token. That's the token we're using. Chromatic Way. As for the encounter, we rolled a 73. Okay, simple enough. However, you notice that while this way is quite colorful, there are multiple waterways that cut through the city. They're not visible on this map, but they are in the form of small streams, potential gutters, potential storm sewer openings, aqueducts, things of that nature. You managed to come across one. This large aqueduct slash gutter is usually a point where a bridge would cross. However, you see your first witness of potential unrest and strife in the city. It seems that this bridge is completely collapsed. This bridge almost looks like it's been blown apart. There are rocks scattered throughout your path that are charred black. You don't know of any easy way to cross aside from here. You don't know where the next crossing bridge is located. However, this is clearly a crossing over a sewer, an open sewer line. And you do, while it is mostly a storm sewer, there is still a terrible stench in the air. So in this case, the only way that you know across, it is large enough where somebody with enough athletic prowess could probably leap across. Only the center of the bridge has been blown apart. Aside from that, you might have to, the easier way would be to climb down and try to cross through the gutter and then climb back up the other side. I guess the question is, are the majority of you athletic enough to jump across this gap? Or would you rather work your way to climb down, hopefully not get covered in sewage on your way across, and climb back up?
Wait, would acrobatics work as well?
Athletics only.
I can't like sort of swing Tarzan style with the chain blades.
Creativity will be rewarded. However, there are certain specific limitations. I will say that while there is this break in your path, there are buildings closely connected to either side. So, like, if the thing is that the next building is maybe a little far for the reach of your weapons, but not if you make the jump and take the chance. You have to be just a little closer from where you're standing.
Zug is definitely gonna jump.
Tell you what. Yeah, can you two go first? And I mean, I don't know, just maybe perhaps leave a handout for me and Winveer, because I've been sort of missing this sort of, strength training, but I'm sure you two got it. Go ahead.
Very well. And I'm just gonna go and jump.
I'll accompany him.
All right,
athletics, right?
A bunch of chads.
King. Yep, let's go ahead and make that jump roll.
It's gonna be really awkward.
Oh my god, I'm rolling so bad today. Oh no.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, in which case, hey King, you're a little guy, but you you've lived in cave systems with uneasy terrain and chasms and stuff like that, and you've hung around with some of the more athletic bunch when you were living in your cavern with your tribe. So this reminds you of a very particular jump that you and your friends when you were younger used to hop over, and you find yourself doing, stretches, lifting your leg up on the wheel of a wagon and like stretching your legs a little bit, swinging your arms around and getting ready. And you take point and then you book it. And for a little guy such as you with 25 feet, you're able to push some extra feet out of that run. And you lift off right at the edge, and with flying colors, you land on the other side and end up sliding on your feet. And you turn around and you look down and realize that was easy. Zug, however, and I'm doing this because this is just hilarious.
Oh, no.
Zug sees King do it. And Zug is like, I can do this. And he ends up like imitating the same stretches and stuff like that. But like you start pushing your body forward. But the thing is that as you try to lift yourself off of the edge, your foot slips and you're not able to get the grip that you need. And you end up coming down, not over the chasm, but right onto the other side of the bridge, smacking your torso. Please roll a 1d4 bludgeoning damage as you force yourself, as you like literally smack right into this thing.
Oh man.
All right, you're gonna start with 4 damage to your character.
It's not looking good today for Zug.
You are going to manage to pull yourself up, but not as gracefully as King. And
Zug did just like you, King.
Yes, I saw that.
Big bears, yeah.
Good job, Sug.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go help the others in case. No reason.
Oh, they need help?
Mm-hmm.
I did it so easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look over towards Windveer's like, we gotta do this, buddy. Oh god.
And I just got this suit too.
Hey Squigs, I'm just curious, are you 8 strength gang too?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yikes.
Let's do this. Alright. Rashid will just be like, alright, 1, 2, 3, fuck it. And he's gonna jump. See how bad this can be.
All right.
Oh hell yeah.
Oof. Do they gain advantage because I'm helping? Or...
I hope so, but I don't know.
But the thing is that unfortunately how would you help, I guess, is the question.
I would imagine because, they're probably way more than me. I would probably like dig my sword into the ground, and then I would like kind of lean over the edge and then extend my hand.
Okay.
And try and catch them.
Gotcha. So the thing is that they've already made your rolls, so you're sort of like rushing to put yourself in position so that you can help out.
To be fair, Rashid did ask them to help him out before they even went over to that side.
All right. In which case, I will say, yeah. Of course, Windveer going first. I also want you, King, to roll an athletics check as you try to grab. You assist them. You try to grab them, and you're holding yourself in your position as well. Okay.
Oh my god.
So what happens?
Who's gonna win? One chasm versus 4 dumbasses.
What happens is you're able to grab Rashid's hand, but like just locking fingertips. And unfortunately, because you rolled a 1, you are going to slip off of where you stuck your sword and you're going to go down with. You're going to go down with.
Jesus Christ.
And the both of you are going to splash down into the sewage.
I hate it here.
And you're both going to need to roll a 1d. I mean, it's like... it's less than
can't
10,
use my
but
chain
1d4.
blades with the climbing speed or anything to like stop myself from falling in.
Not in this case. It's all happening at once.
Feels bad.
Flopping into sewage. Both of you roll a 1d4.
See, they do it
I
just
saw
like
it
that.
coming. I saw it
Just
coming.
like Sonic.
All right.
Oh my god.
So Windveer rolled a 13. Windveer, as you lift off, hold on. My brain switched names, but it's fine. Who did I say went down with King?
Rashid.
Rashid. So Rashid is down with King. Windveer at a 13, and with the sword located there, you lift off the ground almost at this, just seconds before Rashid lifts off the ground. Rashid and King go down, and at that moment you're like, oh shit, as you're literally looking down at the sewage, and you are you're throwing your arms up in the air, hoping to grab the sword. And I'm going to afford you 1 acrobatics check to.
All right, that's
to
a
make
little
this
bit
grab.
better. Come on,
I got a
work.
chance.
Yeah.
Easy clap.
All right.
Windveer is the only one that's rolling today.
You are able to give a little bit of your innate nimbleness to your grasp of the sword, and while the sword immediately dislodges, you're able to like use its leverage just enough to spin around and like around your back and grab the edge from the other side. And this is nimble enough for you to not incur damage from this. So you manage to look down and see both King and Rashid in the sewage. Are you going to say anything?
As well as Zug.
Sorry. Zug. Oh yeah, all 3 of you were. No, Zug climbed up on the other side.
Okay. And I'm now on the other side as well, right?
You are on the other side, but of course you are looking down at your compatriots down in the sewage.
I think I got something that can help. Let's see. Check. Oh no. Nope.
It smells terrible down here.
I was gonna say that is that feet like 10? Is it like 10 feet down from where I'm standing, or more?
I would say it's about 13, 14 feet. But of course the sewage impacts some of it, which is why I chose a D4 instead of a D6.
Is it possible to just climb up with the blades?
You can listen. You'll be
Defeated.
able to climb up the other side. That's fine, but you smell like sewage.
Like shit.
Also,
Well, here's the thing. As I'm smelling Zug, I got my ace off my sleeve.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
I didn't
Not
finish.
again!
I didn't finish.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
no.
actually really good. As both of you, covered in sewage, start climbing out, you both notice something is swimming in the sewage. And something
dear
seems
Lord.
to have come towards you as if it was interested. It's literally this like bubble in the sewage coming towards you. But then as soon as you climb yourself out, it moves away.
I hate it here. Oh boy. Wait, so are we at the are we on the other side now?
You're
or
on,
we just,
you're
we just
on the
gotta
other
move now?
side. Essentially,
Gotcha.
so essentially this encounter is completed, and you are on the other side. You did not get bitten by whatever is down in the sewage. It rolled a 1. So, hooray!
Or she is
You are just
gonna
covered.
lick
You are
down.
yes. You are covered in sewage.
I smell like
second.
poop.
Prezi on everybody.
It's
No, don't do
everywhere.
it on Zug.
My first one is Zug.
Fuck. Fuck you. Weird mans. Mean
You and your-
mans.
You and your hygiene and shit. Oh man.
All right. Feel free to move your tokens to the destination.
Is there a god of clean? Because Rashi's gonna consider praying to them for a minute. Oh god damn, is my Matt, you're gonna need to move my token. It's acting up again.
Oh, is it?
Stupid. Yeah, hold on, let's see if I can fix it. Wait, what the fuck? No, it is. Yeah, it's acting stupid. I'm gonna have you on my phone. I'm gonna restart my computer. I'll be able to hear stuff though.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna remove those lines, and so that is your first encounter. That is your first Seglesian encounter, my friends, and you have discovered a neighborhood called Chromatic Way. Excellent. So you arrive at the destination. It is part of the winding row, and in particular, it's in the center of this location where there's a bit of a garden. It's an unorthodox looking garden. It seems to be something. It seems to be mostly brick laid ground. However, there are particular areas where you see interesting flora growing. Some of it is stuff that you may have witnessed before, but other locations, there are other parts of it are quite odd. Not to mention a very large flower in the center. Everybody see the map, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, just need to throw your tokens on
Yes.
there. Okay. And in the center of this space, you see a particular frog person sitting. Seems to be smelling some of the flowers. Or he's standing. His short stature, about the height of King, is standing and sniffing some of the flowers as he is on top of the bench. And he looks about and he notices you, and immediately you see him do a flip and then jump down and take his sword out and says, "Halt there, travelers! Not another step forward."
Okay.
Why?
State your business. I do not like it when people approach me out of nowhere.
We're the representatives hired by the Roxy Association in order to be able to help you with your service.
He blinks. He's like, oh, let me put this away then. And he sheathes his sword. He's like, well met, adventurers. And he steps forward.
Hello.
And he extends his hand to the first person he sees, and that's going to be Rashid if he's there. And he's going to say, "My name is Glenn. Well, that was my name before I inhabited the body that you see now. I was not always a frog, but in these times of uncertainty, I go by the name of Keru. Either moniker will do."
Frogman.
Yes, you may also call me Frog. That is a much easier way to address me.
Yeah.
Now, for proper introductions, I was a squire for I need to look up the name. It doesn't matter. Listen, I am on a valiant quest. Oh, my friend, that is my knight. For I was once a squire. His name is Cyrus. However, he is no more. He has perished long ago, and the dastardly mage that vanquished Cyrus was the one that turned me into this form. The assistance that I require from each of you is to venture to a local thieves guild and have a bit of a chat with the leader. I hear that the leader has some information I'm looking for. In particular, the potential information of the whereabouts of this mage. The silent types. I highly respect that. Yes.
It was not necessarily that. It was, I was kind of blind for a second. Something happened with my vision, but rest assured, it will all be taken care of.
Of course.
Excellent. Now, I've never heard of this outfit known as Roxy and Company, but you came highly recommended by the person I spoke with. So, are you the dungeon delving types? Are you the types to deal with nefarious beings such as thieves and rogues and bandits?
Yes, blood.
I would say they are. I'm just here to make sure they don't die.
You won't have to worry about that. We got
I just
this.
look directly at Rashid, and I'm like,
No.
I know you're lying.
Rashid never lies and never dies. That would never happen. Unless there's an axolotl involved, but we don't talk about that.
He is going to move over here, and then he's going to literally jump over here.
Oh, shit.
And he's going to look over to Zug, and he's be like, I see you are the battle-hardened type.
I kill a lot of people.
Hopefully for the goodness of humanity, and the goodness, of Orcity, I guess you can say.
What is that?
Orcity. I made it up. It's the good of other orcs.
What is the goodness?
You should stop where you're ahead. He is one that doesn't understand words as much. Just say is that if you're able to kill a lot of people, that's good.
Everybody do an insight check, since you've been communicating with Glenn for a moment.
Alright, I'm up
Don't
and
fail me
down.
now.
Finally, a decent roll.
One restart later, and I'm still rolling
Oh
trash.
my
Let's
goodness.
go.
Hey,
That is-
How
This is the
will
third
Zug tell people anything?
That is the third nat one of the night, baby.
Oh, sorry for that. I'm. Let's see. Okay, so we got a 5, we got a 4. Five
I'm
and
gonna
4.
take the lucky feet at this point.
I would say both Rashid and King look at each other, and they're both very puzzled by this character. They're not sure what to make of this person. A person that used to be somebody else, but now they're a frog, and they're hunting a mage. Okay, these parts make sense, but his mannerism, his enthusiasm is a little off-putting. To Zug, you see somebody. This person reminds you of one or two people that you remember in the Floaty Rock tribe. That there's all sorts of orcs that exist within a tribe. You have people who are like pure enforcers, pure brute strength and savagery, and that's more of your kind. However, this person seems to represent another archetype that you remember from your tribe. There are certain orcs that rely on strength, but they're a little bit too goody two shoes for your liking. You recall a word in Orcish that translates to paladin.
Oh god, those type of guys. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Windveer in particular, it doesn't take long for you to look at his outfit. He's got a green cape on. He has plate armor on. He has symbolism on his body, religious symbolism, of which, if I remember what god he is, I'll look it up in a moment. But clearly a paladin, and clearly somebody who
Nature.
clearly somebody who is bombastic, speaks in a loud tone, speaks with assuredness, even if he's completely wrong. You get all of these impressions from this person, and it occurs to you that you're about to do dungeon delving with this person.
Right there, joining us.
Like they are
That's
joining
probably
you.
more helpful.
But
When
that
Veer
we
just
don't
gives-
get to sacrifice them to ourselves.
Glenn, of course, overhears the conversation. He says, "Why, of course. I would not give up such a battle as this. I would be here with you, assuring your effectiveness. But of course, I must be the one to speak with the leader of this thieves guild personally, and make accord with this nefarious dastardly. Anyways, but
Bring in, I believe the word.
yes, observation. Brigand. So, without further ado, I was able to do a little bit of asking around. Not in the quietest fashion, but I was able to locate what one person had indicated was the front entrance of this Thieves Guild location. So, in due haste, I recommend that we head there immediately.
All right, well, let's get the move on.
Let's kill people.
Lead the way. I say lead the way, Sir Glenn.
It's like, right so. Come on now. I'm sorry. What did you say your adventuring troop was?
Don't let Zug say it, guys.
Yeah, we're pending on the name for the time being.
Big mess.
It's not that. There, right now, we're workshopping it. It's somewhere hovering along the lines of righteous sacrifice.
I see. Well, for the time being.
No. Before you can ever adventure with our party, you must pronounce the name correctly. Now, go ahead.
What is the name?
Righteous sacrifice. Come on.
The righteous sacrifice.
No. You got to try again.
You have to emphasize this.
No. No hints. You have to see if he's cool enough.
Righteous sacrifice.
It's halfway there. 50 there. We can go. Good enough.
Yeah, Rashid, could we just not play around? We have a job we have to do.
Not play around. You have to enjoy the little things. But yes, we can get the move on. Come on.
He eyes each of you for a moment. And he looks over to Zug, and he sort of squints his eyes a little bit. He looks over to King, and he tilts his head, and sort of gives like an affirming nod. This one will do. And then looks over to Winveer, and he looks over to Winveer, and then he props his head up, as if a noble addressing another noble, and then looks over to Rashid, and he scratches his chin a little bit. He looks at you. You very clearly have big horns. And he is like, and he says, fascinating crown you have.
I don't have a crown yet.
It's like,
oh wait. Oh no, he's too stupid to realize what he's talking about.
Don't have a crown yet. You are also nobility, like this one here.
I am. Yes, of course I am. I am a part of Rashid Al-Safar, of House Al-Safar. I'm sure you've heard of my coach.
He raises his head, and you see like the froggish bulge underneath his chin ripple in happiness, in accepting. He's like, well, in which case I am in good company. So let us tally forth. And so he brings you, as he is walking down the street, literally center of the street, not keeping to any like shadows or anything, just like making himself very known, and speaking and trying to converse loudly with each of you. He seems to bring you to a location. Just a block away, he stops, and he points out an abandoned warehouse. He says, "It is below this building. There is a shaft that leads down into what would be considered the entrance."
Let us make haste then.
All right. You see... everybody roll a perception check.
All right. Will Rashid roll above a 10? Let's find out. 21. Ooh,
21,
all you
there
had
you
to
go.
do was say sight.
All right. Rashid Al-Safar, you with your oculi eyes immediately pinpoint that that in this warehouse this warehouse is well boarded up. Each of the windows are pretty much well boarded up, and there is a front door behind this like dilapidated fence. However, your eyes very keenly see the presence of a figure or two peering from behind these windows, and it is no mistake to you that all of you have pretty much walked right up to the building without any sort of stealth, and they have immediately withdrawn from the windows.
Huh.
Well then,
it seems
let us
that
tally forth.
Well, hold on, and I'm gonna grab him by the shoulder. It seems to be that we made ourselves a little too known. I mean, we've lost the element of surprise. They know that we're here. I just saw a couple of them in the sort of window. They backed away. Should we just continue forth, or should we at least try to be a little stealthy? I mean, we kind of can't do much, but what do you think? Looking towards everyone.
Well, if they are alerted to our presence, that makes it an honorable battle.
What, that was you. Okay. All right. Let's go, I guess.
All right. And at least for this very beginning part, I don't have a visual. However, the door is before you. Who wishes to approach the door before Glenn decides to take action?
Wait.
You got it, Zug or King, one of you two.
No, wait. Is this a door that leads directly to the thieves?
So
Yes.
this is the front door of the warehouse itself.
Can Zug just kick it down?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to.
I was gonna say, Rashid will say, I'd prefer it, honestly. Go for it.
Okay. Zug just Spartan kicks it.
All right, do an attack roll on the door. $12. Well, the door's not moving no place. It's pretty low DC. Roll your damage.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 will do it. You only needed a 5. This is a flimsy door, and especially under your foot, you're able to step up and hit the door right where the knob typically would be, and you literally unhinge and knock this door right off the frame, and it feels good.
God.
Zug here to kill all of you.
Pretty straightforward, I see. That is this big old 8-foot tall orc man just kicked down the door, said, I'm here to kill all of you. I'm shitting my pants and running.
That's why we have him go first.
Hold on. Yeah, all right. So you go ahead and do that. One sec here. I'm going to roll a couple of things.
Big ass.
You hear nothing. You hear no response. However, as you look into this dilapidated interior of the building, it expands into an open storage location with a number of broken containers. And as each of you step through the doorway, you actually, I mean, I would say, Zug, you caught a glimpse of it immediately as you broke open the door, because you just went right for it. You didn't wait, so you saw it. There is a small mound of debris that shifted a little bit, as if something under it was risen and it dropped. And it occurs to you, based upon the description that Glenn had given, that that must be where the trapdoor is. And they have just gone into the trapdoor.
Can I go just to the border of the trapdoor and open it up a little bit?
It's under a bunch of debris. Do you want to? Are you going to try to move the debris?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'll try to help him out as much as I really can.
All right. Yeah, it's not going to require a roll. You pretty much just move the debris out of the way, and now you have a trapdoor.
I'm gonna open it a little bit, and I'm gonna scream down the shaft, just like, "Zug, go kill you! Don't run for Zug."
As soon as you open the door and say, "Zug, go kill you," you hear a twing above you, and a jar of something falls from the ceiling and strikes the ground where both you and Rashid are standing. Both make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh man, yeah, that sounds about right.
I swear, y'all decided, don't face check the bush. Don't face check the bush.
I mean, hey,
They
to
always
be
do.
fair, I thought they had just ran in there. I didn't think they set a trap. That's my bad.
DM question really quick. Could I see the trap? Because I have danger sense and I have advantage against dexterity saving throws that I can see. Could I see it?
Not necessarily see. I mean, you have advantage in dexterity saving throws, so it occurs to you immediately that you triggered a trap, and therefore you have advantage on dodging it. But that doesn't prevent you prevent the trap from triggering.
Yeah. Make that dex save, buddy. Come on.
So I'm going to do the dex save at
Advantage.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dang.
All right. Rashid.
Wait, I think I'm gonna use inspiration. Let me see if I have it.
Okay.
Fuck, I don't have it.
Okay.
Okay.
12 isn't gonna do it though. Rashid is only gonna sustain half damage from this.
Oh hell yeah! I'm about to walk into the dungeon half dead. Hell yeah! That's actually true.
So Rashid's got 3 hit points, and Zug, you're hit with the full 6 as this viscous fluid splashes everywhere and immediately burns your skin as it splashes all over you.
What is this? Is this acid or poison?
It's acid.
Nah, damn it. All right.
And so it burns, and it leaves unfortunate burn marks on your skin, but you are still standing, of course. And you are staring down a shaft that leads about 3 to 4 stories down.
Oh, okay. So, probably need to make sure that we check for traps.
I'll go forward since I'm the beefiest one.
Well, hold on. Anybody? Well, I mean, I guess I have a keen eye, but I can maybe at least scout out ahead, or unless someone's better, I think they'd be better at it.
If Snake Man's wants to do it, do it.
All right. I will keep a very close eye around the area, like as we're descending, looking for any sort of weird things, like if this ladder's actually. Oh, wait, is it a ladder or stairs down? Excuse me.
It is. It's a ladder.
All right.
It's a rickety ladder, but it's a ladder.
Yeah, I'll like make sure the ladder isn't gonna freaking break as soon as we go down here. Like I'm looking for every cheap thing in the book.
All right, make your roll.
All right, perception check. Oop. Oh, hell yeah. Well, at least it wasn't a 1. It's a 10.
Excellent. 10. This ladder doesn't it doesn't appear. Well, what you notice is that while the ladder is pretty rickety, the sides of it are pretty well polished, and it looks like whoever was here a moment ago basically they slid down very quickly by grasping the sides of this ladder, probably with cloth or something. The sides of it are polished probably for quick descent. Overall though, like, the ladder is secure. It doesn't seem like the ladder itself has been trapped or anything.
All right. It seems to be clear. Come on. Let's get down here before they run too far away.
Frog, Glenn steps forward and he's like, "That was masterful face checking of that trap."
It's an house of our secret. Now let's go.
Indeed. You go first. I will proceed after.
I'll descend down. Hopefully having Zug like right after. He doesn't want to go too far from a big meat shield.
Hopefully that. Did that activate? Is everybody on the next scene?
Yep.
Everybody see the next scene?
Damn it.
I do see the next.
No, we only have 3 minutes. I want a dungeon delve. Fuck.
Hey, this was actually where I was going to leave it off. So as long as I can get a visual of it and describe it to you, you step down on stone tiling, and there is a long hallway, seems to be a statuary hallway. Each of these statues appear to be different in nature. They don't appear to come from the same place, as if they were lifted from various locations. You get the sense that at the depth that you're at and where you're about to step into, that this hideout conjoins with the sewer. You suspect that there are probably multiple locations in this spot that lead out to the sewer. And that this entire area is likely to contain not just thieves, but the kind of monstrosities you might find in a sewer. So, with this information in mind, you step forward, knowing that you have a quest ahead of you. However, this is where we leave it off for today. At the very beginning of the dungeon delve. In which case, I want to say thank all of y'all, my fellow players, for engaging in this session. And we are going to begin the next session fulfilling the entirety of the quest. How I want to get through the entire quest next session, and then end that session choosing whatever the next quest is. And I want that to be the flow going forward. I'm going to work hard to make sure that that pacing is kept up. But for now, we leave as is. So this was Tales of SEGLESIA Session 10, The Lion's Share. As always, we have Sensei Suplex playing as Rashid.
Hello, goodbye.
We have Dr. Squiggums playing as Victor / Winveer. We have Gabe Grimoire playing as King.
All right, take care.
And we have Ambrose playing as Zug. And final mention to everybody on stream. Once again, this is a D&D campaign that is part of Project Aurora, which is a living world project many dungeon masters, many campaigns, many more players, but one universe where they all take place. So if you are interested in joining, saying hi, if you're interested in possibly joining a campaign within this broad universe of many campaigns, even Tales of SEGLESIA, which has some openings, my friends, please consider joining Project Aurora. Click on that Discord link in chat and show up, say hi, do a player application, or just hang out with the crew. It's a good time.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah, add something.
Also, another game. Hey, Rhyme of the Frost Maiden. It's on Saturdays and stuff. This is the last week to actually get involved. After Sunday, it's cut off. No one else can try to apply. So yeah, join the Discord, join Project Aurora, join a game, do it.
Absolutely. Rhyme of the Frost Maiden has some openings, as you've heard. So, apply. The likeliness of you having a character in one of these campaigns is pretty high. So, thank you very much for watching. It has been a pleasure and a privilege. And I, Chaotic and Writer, will see you in the next episode. Say bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.